Hello, this week we are, quotes, longing for more, number 11 in our series on resting Christ. And yes, isn't it true that we're always longing for more? This particular study is looking at symbols. Last time we were looking at Sabbath rest and we were looking at signs. This time we're looking at the symbols. And the problem is we want to go beyond the symbols. We're given material there, 1 Corinthians 10, Leviticus, John, Hebrews, Psalms, and so on. And it's to do with the symbols that are behind many of our ideas about religion. But we have to get way past, well, that I would suggest. This whole lesson dealing with models and examples, symbols, is to say, yeah, we've got all of that, and those are great for helping us to understand what religion is all about. But we need more. We need to go beyond this. We need to see far more than this. I find it interesting that God has used a lot of symbols, particularly there in the Old Testament, as ways of anchoring belief. And I think we all need to have something like that too. All the ideas really are symbolic. We talk about the Lamb of God. We're not really talking about a literal lamb. We're talking about how this being, this person, is truly a representation of God. And then we have all the other symbols that we use in religion, even our communion service, the grape juice and the bread, they're all symbolic of something more. The new covenant that Jesus spoke about, even the word covenant is a symbol, it's a contract, it's even like a piece of paper, like the marriage contract and so on. But the marriage contract is a symbol. It doesn't represent the actual marriage relationship. It's not the way in which those two people, husband and wife, relate together. Do you see what I'm saying here? You have Adam and Eve having this agreement, and there's a symbol there, particularly there in Noah. What was the symbol there that represented God's promise? It was the rainbow, saying the flood never going to happen again. And then through Abraham and the other patriarchs and so on, God is trying to win his people over, saying you don't need to be afraid of me. You can come into a relationship with me. You can really have an experience with me that is one of love and friendship. And yet all too often his people went, oh, no, we want to back off. We want to stay away. We would rather have you as kind of a distant God. One who says, okay, I just want the symbols, the blood, the fat, the sacrifices, the offerings, and all the rest of that, the altar, the tabernacle, the temple, all symbolic of something. The temple was where God said, that's where I'll live with you. That's where I'll put my glory, the Shekinah glory, and that's how you'll know. The pillar of fire at the night and the pillar of cloud during the day that just shows my presence there with you. These are all symbols of God, but they're not actually God. And I think that's where we struggle, even with human language, trying to understand what really the symbol is trying to tell us and to explain to us. So we end up just sticking with the symbols. Even words are symbols. They are representations of a reality that is beyond what I'm using right now. These words, these expressions, some you may understand well, some you may say, well, no, I didn't quite get that, or that doesn't mean the same to me, obviously, as it does to you. Symbols can be problematic. We have symbols that can be invested with different meanings. I remember in one church when I pastored, we had a prominent cross to identify it as a church, and somebody wrote a long letter to me explaining that this was a pagan symbol representing the god Tammuz and that we shouldn't be using that. And I wrote back saying, well, I invest that symbol with a different meaning, and for me it's a representation of Christ's life, death, resurrection and beyond in just two lines, a vertical and a horizontal line. But you have to take it and invest meaning in it, do you see? And I think that is what we need to do even here as we talk about going beyond. We want something more, we want something better. could you even say. We long for something more than the symbols and the ordinary things. We want to come into a great relationship with God, and that, I think, is what we'll spend eternity discovering, how much more there is than just the symbols that we've seen. Entering into his rest, that's a symbol too. We want to have more than just those symbols. May God bless you as you pursue that discovery.